Hi, good morning, or it's a good afternoon. Today we'll take up the first part, the green supply chain management module. And from here, we'll study to what extent greening or being pro environment is useful to the business. For 3.1, the environmental aspects in global supply chain, we are saying that the global supply chain has been very pollutant, and therefore many countries have already provided or focused on this issue to the extent that they have built up this Kyoto Protocol, United Nations climate meeting in Bali in 2007, Carbon Disclosure Project, and the EU Directive on renewable energy, January 28. And many of these were supposed to focus on the idea that supply chain are really huge pollutant. In the warehouse, we have a lot of discarded packing materials. In the factory, we have a lot of emissions, gas emissions. And in transport, we use up a lot of oil and all of those uh, matters. And so we would like to distinguish our approach to the green supply chain as either reactive, proactive, and value seeking. Reactive is by complying with domestic legislation, whereas proactive is by preempting new legislation. So if you're in this particular proactive case, we are predicting what legislation could be, and then we already today we act on it without even the legislation is still in place. But finally, the value seeking. Value seeking is when we try to do green supply chain so that we improve our profit. In this particular case, therefore, in value seeking, we are talking about practices like the three R's. Three R's. What are these three R's? Reuse, recycle, and reduce. You see, with reduce, immediately you are reducing your intake of materials, and therefore you have save on money. When you say reuse, the same matter, the same material, for example, a particular plate, for example, or a particular glass, or a particular container is reused several times. You just clean it and reuse it again without any change in form. Recycle is different. When you say recycle, sometimes there is a need to change the form. And this is similar to the tire of the truck, and then you recycle it into a place where you can put soil and grow flower or vegetable. Or the styrofoam used to package materials is recycled into a container for materials for hydroponics. So 3R is basically one basic practice done under value seeking approach. Another practice that is done under value seeking approach is what we refer to as the 5S. In 5S, this is when we try to be careful about our work environment. So we have the sorting. We sort materials from useful, not useful. And then what do we do with the sorting? We structure them. We store them properly. Store them properly. Store or throw. Store properly or throw them. Throw them. Throw away. And the third one is what? Sweeping or cleaning the area. And these are the basic 3S: sorting, storing, and sweeping. And then we have the fourth one, which is when we say structure, systematize. Systematize is the same word. Um, like there's a system, like there's a procedure. When we write things down, this is the number 4. We make a procedure so that it is always being done in the same way. And the fifth one is sustain, meaning this is the trying to hit the emotion. We would like to make people happy about this particular practice of 5S. So again, for the value seeking approach, one implementation would be the 3 R's, and another one would be the 5S. And as we proceed, here we basically say that the green supply chain management focuses on business orientation, and it is making our business orientation eco-friendly, meaning we would like to make money as we work with the environment. It has the following goals: to achieve competitive advantage and high performance through GreenSCM practices, to integrate the green supply chain into the corporate policies and strategies for smooth operation, to make difference in its approach, and to show how important it is to conserve our environment and sustain our natural resources, and show to what extent is our business activities dependent on the environment. We also assert that it is in the development of business operations and techniques which are inspired by the idea of environmental friendly. By being environment friendly, we are automatically enhancing our profitability. The green supply chain has 5 packages of intervention according to J. Sarkis. And it says that first we have the industrial ecology and industrial symbiosis, then followed by environmental management systems, product stewardship and extended producer responsibility, life cycle analysis, eco design, and design for the environment. Let's go through the industrial ecology first. Industrial ecology is the study of material and energy flows through industrial systems, meaning this is a very good example of the waste of one company is the input of another company. Similar to the waste of the animals becomes a fertilizer or input for biogas. The global industrial economy can be modeled as a network of industrial processes that extract resources from the earth and transform those resources into commodities which can be bought and sold to meet the needs of humanity. Okay, and so we have that industrial symbiosis is an association between 2 or more industrial facilities or companies in which the waste or byproducts of one become the raw materials of another. Let's continue. On the other hand, the EMS refers to the management of an organization's environmental programs in a comprehensive manner, or in a comprehensive, systematic, planned, and documented manner. It includes the organizational structure, planning and resources for developing, implementing, and maintaining policy for environmental protection. It has to be emphasized that EMS is a system and a database which integrates procedures and processes for training of personnel, monitoring, summarizing, and reporting of specialized environmental performance information to internal and external stakeholders of a firm. A very popular EMS is the ISO 14001. Continuing, an example is the one by this photocopier machine manufacturer, where they follow a certain phase